What's up, guys? It's Meg, and it's that time of the week again where we get to talk about the latest episode of Fear the Walking Dead. Today we're talking about season 1, episode 3, called The Dog. What did you guys think of the episode last night? I actually thought it was pretty good. As you know, I'm really liking this series, so I don't really have too many complaints about it. I like that there was a lot more action, and really that we got to see everyone's different personalities in this episode and how they are reacting to all of the different things thrown at them. Because, as you know, everybody's different and everybody deals with things in a different way, especially traumatic things. So I thought it was really interesting seeing everyone's different perspective because all these characters are like vastly different from each other. So yeah, I actually really liked it. Let's get right into the review. So I think most of this episode was really coming to terms, and seeing how everyone is coming to terms with what exactly is going on and trying to figure out what's going on and wrap their brain around it. And some people are coming to that realization a little bit quicker than others. For example, Daniel and Madison and Nick, they've pretty much got it figured out. But then we have characters like Travis who are trailing behind quite a bit and trying to maintain and grasp onto their humanity and not kill and do these sorts of things that they're being forced to do. But I really liked in this episode, probably my favorite part is seeing our two leading male characters, Travis and Daniel, and really how they are, butting heads and how vastly different they are. So we have Travis, who actually reminds me a lot of the early days Rick. Rick was a sheriff and he had his morals and the laws and the rules, and this is how you handle things and you don't kill people. And, he's got this set of his ways that are deeply ingrained into him. And so we kind of see the same thing with Travis. He's trying to maintain his humanity. He's really struggling with the killing aspect, as we see with him saying that Peter didn't deserve to be killed that way. And when he tells Madison, that it's not her call to kill Susan. We also see when he apologizes to Madison when he's hugging her and he says, I'm sorry about Peter, and she says it had to be done, and she doesn't see the look on his face, but he looks kind of down at her like, huh? Like he's a little bit shocked that she would say something like that. He doesn't know what she had to do at the school, and sort of that aspect of what she's been through already. She's already had to kill one person. And that's why I think she's grasping onto this quite a bit quicker than he is, and the realization that, there's no getting around having to kill these people. And on the opposite side of that, we have Daniel, who we kind of get the sense has been through quite a bit in his life. And it seems that, he really kind of has a grasp on what's going on, and maybe he's been through some type of situation, where there's rioting and bad things are happening before. We know that they've come from El Salvador. That's where their family's based out of. We see that he has no hesitation in shooting Peter with a shotgun. He takes him down and then walks away very nonchalant, like it had to be done. He suggests burning Peter's body to Travis, which Travis, is like, no way, he didn't deserve this. But, he knows, Daniel knows that burning the body could prevent the spread of disease, and he's thinking very matter-of-factly, and he's really in survival mode here. We later see that he mutters under his breath that Travis is weak when he won't let Madison kill Susan. We also see that Griselda makes a comment about how they've been through much worse than this and still survived. So that's, again, hinting that he has seen a lot in his days and survived it. And it seems like he really knows what it takes to survive something like this. He says to Ophelia, when she says that these are good people, we should go with them, and they're really butting heads on whether or not they should go and join Travis and his family, wherever they're going. And Ophelia really wants to follow them. She knows they're good people. She's thinking about her mom, who needs medical attention, and she's not really convinced that her dad is going to be able to find medical attention for the mom, and she really wants to go with them. So she's like, these are good people. Why are you not listening? Why are you not going? And he says good people are the first to die. And I think really what he means there is that you have to be willing to do anything out of the ordinary, do things that you're not used to doing, like killing, in order to survive something like this. And really, if Travis isn't willing to do that, if he's not really willing to set aside his beliefs that are ingrained in him and kill someone who's threatening you, he's not going to survive very long. And that's really what Daniel is seeing. He's seeing Travis as weak-minded, not able to make the hard decisions, which is something that I think is very understandable. And I think what I like about this show is that we are getting to see all of these different perspectives from these characters and how they're dealing with things. And I mean, you can't just, you know, from an outside perspective and watching this new show, I can't just be like, well, why doesn't he just kill him? Like, why doesn't he just pick up the gun and kill him? Well, because we have to think, like, would you really? I mean, sure, you can say, yeah, I would have killed him, but would you really, if that was your next door neighbor that you know, that cared for you when your husband died, or, you know, your neighbor that watched your kids, or these are people that you know and you see every day, wouldn't you want to try and make sure for certain that there was no coming back before you killed them? Would you really just be like, all right, bang, you're dead? I think that adds realness to this series, is the fact that these people aren't grasping everything at the same rate. They're not realizing, oh, you know, this is a dead person come back to life. I like that everybody's kind of at different stages of realization as to what's going on. I think it's very believable. I meant to put in earlier about Nick's comment, where when we were talking about Madison and Daniel and Nick coming to terms with what's going on a lot quicker than other people, Nick made a comment where they're looking at Susan and he says, she's not sick, she's dead. And Travis is like, why would you say that? And he's like, because it's true. And it kind of takes Travis aback, because again, he's like not really willing to believe that at this point. And I like that Nick has just, I mean, he just knows it. He's like, she's dead. And I think that says a lot about his character and kind of what he's been through, that he's been able to put that together so quickly. Moving right along though, the very end scene where the military has arrived and Travis and Madison are sitting outside of their house, or standing outside of their house. And Travis says, what are his exact words? He says, the cavalry's arrived, it's going to get better now. And then again, completely opposite of that, we have Daniel inside who says, it's already too late. Meaning, what I think it means is that he knows that there's no coming back from this. I think that he realizes that something much bigger is going on here. So we really are seeing just how different these two people are and just how different backgrounds they come from. Other interesting things to note in this episode is that Liza has medical training. She is training to be a nurse, which could prove very beneficial in the upcoming episodes to their group. She's not as confident in her skills, and we see that there is some drama in there about maybe why they got divorced, having to do with her schooling and the way, you know, Travis is, and we got a brief glimpse of their past relationship there. We also see that the military has arrived. They are rounding up everyone. They're disposing of the infected bodies, and they're very quick to, you know, say, have you had the infected's blood on you? There was an interesting thing to note is when Madison asks the two military guys what happened to Patrick, and they say, well, he was covered in infected blood. They never actually say what they've done with him. They don't say we took him off to quarantine. They don't say anything. They're not admitting to anything. And we see the previews for episode 104. If you haven't watched them yet, go watch them, because we see in the previews that there are quite a few people dead there that don't look like they were infected at the time of their death. So it looks like the military is going to get pretty out of control here really quickly, but we'll leave those predictions for the next Dead Ahead episode. All in all, I thought this was a great episode. I like how the story is progressing. I'm very interested to see how the military goes from seemingly helpful to out of control and there's people dead everywhere in the roads, because it seems like in this end of this episode that they're packing all the bodies up, cleaning things up, writing names down, marking houses, you know, on who's left and who's, you know, X's, probably for contaminated houses. I like seeing that, but I'm very interested to see how in the next episode, when we see these previews, how it's progressed so quickly, because it doesn't seem like there's going to be any type of time jumps here. So I'm guessing things are starting to go downhill pretty quick. I liked the episode. I liked all the character development. I liked that we got action. We got to see more infected. Very interesting. I really liked the dog part. And all in all, I'm obsessed with this new show. I love it. And The Walking Dead season 6 is coming back really soon. We don't have that much longer to wait, so I'm really excited about that. Leave me comments down below. What did you guys think of this episode? I'm sure I've forgotten something, so if I have, remind me and we can discuss it down there. But that is it for this episode. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.